Hi, I'm Mia Delane, and I'm standing here with Brigitte Mars, and we're at the Raw and Living Spirit Retreat in Molalla, Oregon. And I have been talking to Brigitte about the endocrine system, and I'd like you to hear what she has to say about endocrine health and what you can do.
So a few things I would recommend is one is to eat more sea vegetables. Sea vegetables are high in minerals. Those minerals are not only good for the thyroid gland, but all of our glands. So do your best to find some organic kelp, dulse, wakame, and I say organic, but really they're wild, so from clean waters. And learn to make food with them. They're just really amazing. I also would encourage people to avoid fluoridated water. Fluoridated water disrupts our kidney and our thyroid function, and we don't want that to be happening. It's also good to get a little bit of full spectrum light every day, to go outdoors without our sunglasses on, without sunblock on. I'm not saying to go stare at the sun, but that 20 minutes a day where you're in a safe place where you can be outdoors, because light enters our eyes and it affects the pineal and the pituitary gland, which are light receptors. It's also important that when we go to bed at night to make our rooms totally dark, because our endocrine system is affected by lack of darkness at night. Very often people go to bed and they've got the digital clock and the recharging telephone and the computer. So just be aware that all of those electromagnetic frequencies can be disrupting us. There's a couple things I'd also like to mention that I've used for people with brain injuries, and that is essential oils are a way to reach the brain. There have been a couple of occasions where I've had clients or friends of clients, and maybe someone has had some type of injury, and two cases that I'm thinking of are with people that were in comas, and you hear that people in comas can still have some of their senses alert, even though they might not be able to respond. And so aroma is a very powerful tool. There's a couple essential oils that I use. One is rosemary, and the other is calamus. And what you could do is put an aromatherapy diffuser in their room. In one case, you put calamus essential oil on a young man's mustache, and he came out of the coma very quickly, actually within a few hours of doing that. So we know that our nasal cavities are in very close proximity to our brain, so if we could smell something, it really could open up neural pathways so that we could have better mental alertness. I'm really big on chlorophyll for the endocrine system. Greens are high in magnesium. Magnesium relaxes the muscles, improves neural transport. Blueberries are one of my favorite brain foods. Cauliflower, coconuts, young coconut meat. And greens, because of their high chlorophyll content, brings oxygen into the body, and our brain loves oxygen. I think raw nuts and seeds are also a great food. Almonds, pine nuts are particularly good for mental function. And of course there's herbs like ginkgo biloba. Classically in Asian medicine, it's a kidney tonic, and the health of the kidney governs the health of our brain. I also want to say that because the effect of our brain is going to have influence from the kidneys, that it's important to eat black foods. So back again to the sea vegetables, but also think sun-cured black olives, black sesame seeds, black berries. All of those are great foods for the brain. So a couple other things that I've used when people have either had brain injuries or have been unresponsive, in a coma perhaps, is to use sound. Just like we can still smell even though we might not be able to respond, we can still hear. And so if you do have someone who's impaired in some way, playing self-help tapes, music that's not too loud, but like the kind of music that they would like. Also think about playing the voice of their loved ones. If someone calls to check up on them, have your loved one hear their voice rather than, the person who's the caregiver just talking to them and hanging up. Remind people about their loved ones. Show them pictures. Put them in front of them and point out, this is your daughter, this is your sister. So really keep communicating with them. I also think that foot massage can be very helpful. And the big toe is the part of the foot that corresponds to the brain. So you really want to make sure that you work on the whole feet, but pay special attention to the big toe. And color can also be a tool. So often when people are incapacitated some way, they're in a hospital wearing a white gown and white sheets and white room. And so I think of red when we want to invigorate the chi of a person, to increase their life force and their vitality. I think of blue when we want to cool inflammation and calm pain. I think of green when we don't know what to do. Green is always appropriate. But color is another tool, and even though we might think we don't see the color, color has an energy. Red is warming, blue is cooling, purple is cooling. So use these simple tools. Sometimes the things that you think of might not be in a book. And I wanted to share one story with you that I had nothing to do with, but one of my students, I had a friend who was in a coma in a hospital in Denver, and a bunch of friends from Boulder went to go visit this young woman in the coma, and they put some crystals on her chakras, and they made a circle around her. By crystals I mean like quartz crystals. They made a circle around her, and they were all holding hands, and they were all touching her, and they started oming, and she came out of the coma during the third om. So to me, these are just something some young people in Boulder made up, but they said, let's use sound, let's use the energy of the crystals, let's use touch, and something happened. Was it a miracle? Well, I think they tuned into something really good. And sometimes we have to make up what our protocol might be. It might not be something that's in the medical text. It might be something that we have a dream or the answer to our prayer. So just know that the body's desire is to be well, and there are things we can do to help support that. Thank you. So hopefully you'll be able to use some of these ideas, and check out my book Rawsome too. Thanks.